Hey everybody, for testing purposes, I'm gonna video this one instead of going live. I'm not sure if you guys can hear me over the noise that this new little toy is making. So I thought I would video myself first rather than waste your time. I'm not gonna post it unless I can hear myself on the playback. Not that I love listening to my own voice, mind you, but anyway. So, popped on earlier today to tell you that this week's meal prep is going to involve some of last week's meal prep. I mentioned that I was going to go ahead and pressure cook the leftover chicken, which was probably about 4 thighs and 2 or 3 breasts, I don't remember. But I did that, and I got just cut it up together, shredded it, used my handy dandy chicken choppers. Salad choppers in the catalog. We don't do chicken choppers around here. Anyway, I got 2 bags. The other one's a little more full than this, but I thought I would do a couple of meals. I had 3 pieces of leftover cornbread from our beans and rice last night. So I'm going to do my version of chicken and dressing, which is nowhere near the level that my grandmother's version was, but it's edible. So right now, I'm sauteing the onions for that, and I'm going to split it between, that guess was sort of right, Sherry. I don't know, it's a healthy version of that green rice that you always see on the Thanksgiving table. So I think I use my multi-purpose cooker, which is a step up from our quick cooker that we had a couple of seasons ago. It's Pampered Chef's version of the Instapot. So I think I use it most for cooking brown rice. I don't know if you guys, I don't know, let me know if you have a better way to cook brown rice. For me, it takes forever, which is why I choose white rice. I know exactly how many minutes to pop it in the microwave in my Rice Cooker Plus, which is now in the catalog called, help me out, Micro Cooker Plus, I do believe, if you're looking for that. We still have it, it's just not listed under Rice Cooker Plus, although it might pop up like that. So you guys, I haven't even combed my hair this morning. I just threw it up. I did wash my face. I did not put anything on it. So, what you see is what you get this morning. But it's Monday meal prep. Hopefully you can hear me over the noise that this is making. It's just closer to the phone, which makes me think it's going to be noisy. Have not figured out Meta yet. So, a couple of tips I wanted to tell you. I can't believe how hot this is getting. I wonder if I should turn it down. Look at that. I can turn it down just to keep warm. And I'm just sauteing just a little bit in a pat of butter, onions, and now celery. Y'all know on the outside of celery, that's going to be your most bold taste. So I usually put just a couple of the outer rims when I'm cooking with celery, and then a couple of stalks, and then also the inner rims. You saw me just put the leaves in there. Those are absolutely usable. And then the middle ones, the mild ones, I stick those in a Ziploc bag back in the fridge to munch on. Now, a lot of people don't eat celery because it's a texture thing, and if it's the strings that make you crazy, then just peel the celery like a carrot. Just take those strings off just like that, if that's what bothers you about eating them. I love the crunch. I love that it takes more calories for my body to digest the celery than it does in the celery. So I love celery. Lynn doesn't love it, but he will eat it when it's cooked into something. I just try not to overload him with it. So, but if you're making dressing, you gotta have the celery, right? You could use celery salt. My grandmother used poultry seasoning, and for a couple of years after she passed, you usually only found it, back in the day, you only found it during the holidays. So I'd always pick up a couple of little pots, little jars for her. Make sure she stayed in stock. There's no telling how many dozen. That's cool. Not hot at all. I like this induction surface. It's my first time to use this. Ordered it off of Amazon because I wanted to be able to use this closer to you guys. Back to the poultry seasoning. I ran across it. This is probably the last one that I picked up for Mima, and it expired June 13th. Just can't bring myself to throw it away. I've never opened it. But instead of poultry seasoning, I like just regular chicken bouillon. Oh. There's that other tablespoon measure. I do that a lot. I have cup measures, parts of the set in my flour, and I use them as a scoop. And then the tablespoons will end up in the stuff like that. So like I say, this is just 3. I'm gonna pause this. It's crazy. I'm sure you guys aren't new to this, but this is so cool to me. Just cooking up these celery and onion. Just get them a little bit tender crisp, and it looks like I've blackened the onions. That's okay. I'm so lucky I have a husband that will pretty much eat whatever I put in front of him. So I've got those 3 pieces of cornbread. Normally I would not use Jiffy for my dressing, but this is what I use to make cornbread. So this is Jiffy cornbread. It's going to be sweet. Put about a tablespoon of that chicken bouillon. And I'm just chopping up these. I boiled 2 eggs and peeled them. I'm just chopping these up. So they're minuscule. And then probably, I don't know, maybe 6 or 8 sprigs of thyme. That's the green that's down in there is thyme. I know a lot of people use sage in their dressing. I think my grandmother did. I'm almost positive because I've helped her make it. My dad swears that she didn't, but she did. She just wasn't heavy-handed with it. Okay. Over there. So I've got the cornbread, the boiled eggs, thyme. I'm also going to add bell pepper rub, just about a tablespoon. That's pretty much all my seasoning in that. I'm going to put half of this. The handle didn't even get hot. This is so cool. About half of that into my dressing mixture, and the other half is going to go in my green rice over here. So remember, Sunday I'm doing that fall reveal. It's a sneak peek before it's available September 1st. I hope you guys can join me, probably live, because if it rains all week, my driveway's going to be impassable. But if you see me using a new product before then, shout it out. You'll get a prize. So for my chicken, I'm going to do half of this. Have no idea how much it is. I'm absolutely guessing. Half of it in one, half of it in the other. Oh, maybe a cup each. Give that a quick stir and set that aside. Now for this, stir this around. Now, because this is already green with broccoli, back on meal prep tip. Okay, y'all know what the kitchen smells like when you cook broccoli, like when you cook cabbage, or, you know, that aroma that you get. So why not cook it all? If you're buying fresh broccoli, go ahead and cook it all. Put it in smaller little containers. And then you're only smelling up the kitchen one time. And like I say, this is our Micro Cooker Plus, which used to be the rice cooker. I have lots of friends that just bought this to bake the cake in the microwave with, but you can do other stuff with it. I cook white rice. Now the brown rice, it just takes so long. So I always put that in my pressure cooker. And I'll be happy to share that with you if you'd like to know how I do that. Now I'm gonna throw some more fiber in this dish with some kale Enrichables. I have one of these I'm happy to send out. If you'd like to try it, I have one I will mail you. So the first person that says, yep, I want to try it, mail it to me, that'll come to you. I'm happy to. I think this month we might have gotten pea protein. Usually get them in the Taste Buds monthly, but we'll get some little extra trial. Seems like it was pea protein. I'm actually going to make my thickener for this because I don't have not one can of cream of. Normally I would put a can of cream of chicken in my dressing, and I would put a can of cream of mushroom in my green rice. I have nothing, cream of nothing. So I'm gonna kind of make up a cream of here on this little handy dandy induction. Okay, now in this I'm gonna use 3 onion. I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons because this is a pretty good portion. Now, when I read the directions, and yes, I actually read the directions on this little cooktop, I don't know what you would call it, hot spot, hot pad, I think that's what we used to call them back in the day, but this is strictly for induction pans, so that would be cast iron, magnetic stainless steel. There's a couple of things that you can use on induction pots and pans. So here we go. I'm going to unpause that. It's going to get loud again, guys. Go ahead, and I'm going to dump this whole thing of pea protein into my pan to use as a thickener instead of flour. So that's my idea behind that. Now let me grab my sauce whisk. Melt this butter down. Now some of the pans that I'm using here, containers I should say, these little 3-cup and even the 6-cup, they will fit in my air fryer. So I put things like this that would need to be baked day of in the smaller dishes and pop them in my air fryer instead of heating up the oven. Done. And that can also go in the freezer. I'm probably going to put one in the freezer, one in the fridge. We'll eat this week. Now for the rice portion of this, let me get this all mixed up. I'm using the rest of that brown rice, and I just cook, if you're going to cook, you might as well cook enough for several meals. And that's what I did with the brown rice. Sometimes I crumble it up and eat in my eggs like I did this morning. But I'm going to put the rest of it in this green rice. So this is just the inner pot to our pressure cooker, our multi-pot. That is also on sale for $100 off through the end of August. All of our electrics, which is a great deal, especially if you're already hosting, because you can get 60% off of the sale price. Already had a couple of hosts take advantage of that. Earn it for free if your party is big enough. And I'm just crumbling this up. And now I'm going to stir it through. My butter is melting there. Once I get that all melted down and incorporated it into that pea protein, I'm going to add some milk. You can do powdered milk and water. You can just do water. And you can make, it's basically making gravy. Alright. All mixed up. And now for my rice. Let me get this washed. Quick rinse. And let me stir this a bit. I really like this setup. I can learn to use this without burning. You know, it's kind of like an electric stove. I struggle a little bit with electric, guys. If you have me in your home and you have an electric stove, we're probably not going to cook anything on your stovetop. I'm a gas girl. Gassy girl. Okay. Let's see how hot it is. Not real hot. So let me turn this temp up a little bit. See, if I was on my stovetop, I could see the flame and know about how hot I had it going. So I'm gonna hop on Sunday about 2 o'clock. Show you guys all of it. And I think it is going to be in that event screen. I'm not real sure. It's going to be a chat room, whatever that is. I'm going to try to figure it out. See how that's thickening up nicely? Just like a flour-based gravy would. I'll put a little bit more. Now my dressing, I'm not going to add any liquid to my dressing until day of. That all incorporated. I'm just going to put the lid on it and put it in the freezer, and then it'll be ready to go on the day that I want to have dressing. This is for the green rice. Salt and pepper. I'm going to go ahead and cheesy that sauce up. Now this is some cheese that I had got on sale. I went ahead and shredded the block down and put it in the freezer. You can freeze cheese, no problem. And then if you want a crunchy top, put the rest of this throughout too. You would put that on day of, like a mixture of breadcrumbs or panko butter seasoning, or panko and Parmesan butter seasoning. Crumble it over the top before you put it in the oven to heat it up, or air fryer, whatever you're gonna do with it. Now I have the Super Veggie Enrichables out as well. I'm going to put that in the dressing. There's not a whole lot of veggies in the dressing. Okay. Give this a little stir, and it looks like it's melting nicely. Look how smooth that's coming together. Go ahead and turn that off. And you'll hear that fan, it set another minute or so to cool it down. So rather than the Velveeta plastic cheese, I know y'all, I know it's yummy. And I know there's certain dishes that we have to have it to get the correct outcome, but look at that. Off. Look, I mean, pea protein, butter, milk. I mean, that kind of, sort of looks like melty Velveeta. It's gonna be good. Just Brenda Gant says it's gonna be good, y'all. Just gonna incorporate all of that together. Mix it around. I'm going to set this out of the way so you can see my feels. I know you guys can hear me. Give this a stir. I know, it's heavy on the broccoli, but I needed to cook that broccoli. light on the rice. So we got the good fiber, the broccoli happening, seasoned. The sauteed onion and celery, 3 onion, rub, and then cheese through that. I'm gonna put that crumb topping on it. You could even top it with the French fried onions that you can get that would normally go on top of a green bean casserole. Okay. So, I'm gonna put part of it in my everyday rock crock. I'm gonna put this in the slow cooker stand because this is gonna be supper tonight. Just give it once around with my butter. Real butter, y'all, not plastic butter. Real butter. So some of it is gonna go in here for tonight. This won't get a crunchy topping. So it's kind of a one pot dish, but I'll probably serve something alongside. Maybe a salad. Got some romaine in the fridge. So this supper tonight, another sprinkle of cheese, because really can't have too much cheese, I don't think. Don't think I hit it with salt and pepper. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Dinner and show. Okay. Let's go in the slow cooker base. And remember, guys, if you have the rock crock and you don't have the slow cooker base, you want to get that before August 31st. It's going away. I feel like it's going to end up in the outlet, but just to ensure that you get it, I would definitely grab it now, because we're not always assured that it's going to go there. Okay. And now, I think this one's 5.5 cups. This is the medium glass container. And when I pull this out, I'll put that crumb topping on it. Stick it in the microwave. Stick it in the oven, I'm sorry. You can heat it up in the microwave. In the oven. And then crumb topping and broil just 3 to 5 minutes. So this one is ready to go in the freezer. And smaller one is probably going to be my lunch. Yes, I know all those dishes are stacking up back there, but once I'm done, I'm done. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 meals done. That's worth a sink of dishes, I think. Oh. Any more? Definitely worth a sink of dishes, huh? This one will just go in the fridge. And then for the dressing, I could cook it in here or dump it out on one of my fancy bakers. And then I'll put the liquids in on cook day. And it will be good too. Okay, so dinner tonight, dinner tomorrow night, or the next night, another night, and lunch. What was that? I don't know, maybe 30 minutes. Most of this is leftover, and cleaning out the refrigerator. So I'm hoping you guys can hear it. I'll get this on later today. Remember, Sunday, this Sunday, 2 o'clock, in the Meal Prep 101 group. And August 31st is the end of the sale for all the electrics. That's $100 off. The air fryer, the deluxe cooking blender, the multi-purpose pot, is that right? Multi-purpose cooker, or the grill. think that's all. Oh, or the prep with all the attachments that I use quite often. So $100 off of any one of those things, and that's purchase yourself or host and earn it. Y'all have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Thanks so much for watching. Bye now.